Susan. You're not Stu. You're Susan.
I think I am. I'm very tired. I'm not quite sure who I am.
Uh-oh. Well, we're glad you're here. Now, Stu had to take care of something with his family, so it's just me today. So Susan runs the background, but Susan, I thought today would be a good day to kind of do a state of the union of copy and content and AI and where I kind of see everything going. Does that sound good to you? Hopefully it does, because that's what I've got.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
We're good.
we're
Okay.
good.
So I'm going to put you in the driver's seat and welcome everybody in the chat, wherever you are. Go ahead and say howdy, hi. Let me know you're here. And I'm going to zoom in on my background. I'm going to put Susan in the background. I'm going to come over here and be in front of the board. And today won't be quite as long as when Stu and I are talking, but I did want to talk to you about a few things that I see going on in the world and stuff that I think is important just from having a discussion about AI. It is interesting that the first piece of, or my first experience with AI was about 4 years ago, and incorporating it into our software happened a little over 3 years ago. So all of this stuff that we now kind of take for granted, or everybody's talking about AI and generative AI and everything else, has really only been on the radar for people really paying attention for 4 years, people that are on the bleeding edge for about 3 years, and people are just now starting to really wake up to it. So welcome, Brad. What's up, Paul? Um, and so the first thing I would just say is that AI is here. So if you think that AI is a passing fad, it's not. It's here. It is a fact of life. It is integrating itself into everything that we are doing. What's up, Carlin? And State of the Unicorn. And it's here. It's not a shiny toy. It is being used for what we're doing. It's being used every day in advertising, in sales, in content creation. And it's literally all about speed and time, using it to be able to get stuff done quickly. And the winners are the people who are able to combine two things. Okay. One is they're able to combine the speed of the robot plus that human creativity that is making all the difference. Okay, that's supposed to be a light bulb. But it's not AI by itself, and it's not a human trying to do it all by themselves. It's the two of these things together that is creating the huge shifts and the huge advantages. And I know we hear a lot of things that get said a few times, and everybody kind of, they come as talking points, and then everybody just kind of goes on past them. Sometimes they say, sometimes they don't. Remember a couple of years ago when everybody said the new huge opportunity and the career of the future was being a prompt engineer? Nobody talks about that anymore. In fact, and this is, you get some hipsters making up stuff. If you want to know, when you talk to a chat bot, when you talk to an AI chat bot, you are now a vibe programmer. When you are talking to AI and trying to figure out how to get it to give you something, you're doing what's called vibe programming. Just so you know, that's the new buzzword that's coming out. So the bottom line is, they used to say that AI was going to take all the jobs. That's not true. A human using AI is going to eliminate huge swaths of jobs. Okay. Next, attention is scarcer than ever. They talk about the thing of a goldfish and people having less than the attention span of a goldfish. I don't really know that that's actually the truth. But I do know that because AI is able to speed stuff up, there's more crap coming at us. So whatever you're doing, ad costs are going up. Audiences are more distracted. They're more, I honestly don't think they're more distracted. I just think they're more bombarded. So your copy has to hook people instantly. Something cool that's coming about now, though, is faster image creation and short, really good video creation. So when you're running ads and things like that, one of the most important things is the image or the video that goes with the ad. Used to be very time consuming, used to be very expensive to hire a graphic artist to make all that stuff. Now, especially with Google's 2.1, they call it Nano Banana or whatever. This process is getting faster, cheaper, easier. You can generate an image with Google's Gemini thing, the current version, for like 4 cents. You can generate something that you used to have to pay $100, $200 to a graphic designer for. So this is a particular an area you need to pay attention to if you're doing any kind of advertising, any type of content marketing. The hook, the picture hooks, the image hooks that you're using, A, use them, B, use tools to help you get those done faster. And you're also able to create a whole bunch to make them to be able to do testing. So that's a big deal. The other thing is, we've talked about this in the past, but making sure that you're emphasizing your soul in everything that you are doing, your stories, your observations, your unique perspective, your lessons learned. That's the only currency you have that cannot be duplicated by AI, which AI is all data, default answers to anything. So just for example, like I wrote the article this morning that we are going to be using next week. And yep, next week. And so I integrated into that a story of how I created or how we came to share the information that was in the article. And so anytime you can use a real world story or your own personal observations, that's stuff that people are really going to pay attention to, because everything else is just like a giant listicle or an article, something like that. Okay. Second, since everybody's able to churn out all kinds of stuff and social media is getting more and more crowded, social media, everything from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram, all this stuff. There's more and more and more and more and more. But you got to remember that you don't own the people that are following you on those things. You don't own that. You don't own the followers. You don't own the content. You own nothing. And so remember that you better have an authority site. You better have home base where you are ultimately sending these people so that you can gather them and make them part of your universe in case something happens, in case you post the one wrong thing or you get caught up like I have in the past in some automated process where all of a sudden into Facebook decides you violated their terms of service. Okay. And so you got to have the place where these people go and you can capture them into your own system. So use social media, use all that stuff as a funnel, but you got to get them into your own site. Next, the other thing that I'm seeing with all of this is that copywriting and content creation is still the bedrock, but you need to look at it like copywriting, all this other stuff. Okay, let's look at it this way. Persuasive communication is now the coin of the realm. Okay, persuasive. Let me spell that out right. Persuasive communication. Your ability to put a message out, whether it's in text, whether it's in video, whether it's in a tweet, I know they don't, I guess they call them X's now, or any other kind of communication, your ability to hook people, your ability to engage them, your ability to persuade them, to captivate them, to motivate them, to move them to action is survival now. I mean, it's you just not even talking about thriving. If you can't do that basic stuff, you're screwed. But the great news is most people are just engaging in creating more noise. And if you stick with the basics like problem, agitate, solve, before, after, bridge, any kind of story driven frameworks, all that stuff, those things work better than ever now. And the great thing about that is that AI can help you accelerate. Because the other thing that I'm seeing is that there are two camps of people. And whether people realize it or not, we've already come to a fork in the road. There's one group of people that are looking to replace themselves, and they're going to try and have the robot be everything in all things to them in their business. The problem is that if you're not involved in the business, there's no human in the business in any way, shape, or form. Eventually, your customers are going to disappear, because one of the most important things that a business does is develop relationships with the customers. Otherwise, everything is just a transaction and it's all based on price. The other side, and you need to decide which way you're going, is are you going to use AI to amplify or accelerate what you're doing? In other words, are you going to form a partnership with the AI so that you plus AI equals a much bigger impact faster? Even with little stuff. So like C-Ray, I don't know if C-Ray's here, but my buddy C-Ray told me about this new software that is the most amazing freaking transcription software I have ever seen in my entire life. I signed up as soon as I used it for 2 minutes. I signed up for a year instantly, and it's not very expensive at all. But I can use it on my phone, I can use it on my computer, and it's instantly available in any software that I'm using. So I can dictate in my notepad, I can dictate into texting somebody, I can dictate when I'm creating funnels inside of Go High Level. It has become indispensable in my life within less than a week. And I'm telling everybody about it. And you're wondering, what is it? Well, you can ask, what is it? I will let you know. But that is a great example of using AI to amplify and accelerate what you're able to do, let alone what you can do with the genies and creating content. But I got a little off track there talking about copywriting, but this is huge right here. You need to decide, am I going to try and have AI replace me, or am I going to use AI to make me superhuman? I would suggest that you use it to turn you into Superman or Superwoman as opposed to replacing you. Okay, next. As much as this might seem like this is going back to the Stone Age, if you want to stand out as the authority in your niche, if you want people to see you as an authority, if you want people to see you as an expert, there are some specific things that you need to have. We talked about one of them. You need to have an authority site. Number two, you need to have all of your social media set up correctly. Number three, you need to offer some type of coaching or consulting where people can pay you for your time in a leveraged way. I'm standing in front of the board, sorry. And then you also need to have your own book. And you're like, do people read books anymore? Yeah, they do. And kind of combined with the book, you need to have your own book or your own signature course, which these can really be one and the same. So this is what you got to be able, this is what you got to have if you want people to take you seriously. And everybody and their brother now is trying to be an online expert, trying to be an influencer, which, by the way, I think that I'm going to take a side timeout. If you're making your money as an influencer, I think you're a piece of crap, because being an influencer means you create nothing, you add no value, and all you're trying to do is find lemmings to follow along behind you because you're one of those cool kids in high school that people blindly followed into the cafeteria, and I hated you then and I hate you now. Okay, let's take a step back. Whew. See, podcasts like therapy for me. So, authority site, social media squared away, coaching, consulting offer, and a book. That's the stuff you got to have in order to be seen as super, super expert authority. I just got a note from the behind the scenes that I went a little overboard there talking about influencers. Next, the other thing that I'm seeing a lot of people emphasizing now that I think is a big mistake, and it's tied in with AI, is that you're able to now with AI, because things are so much faster, you're able to implement tactics faster. I can make a certain type of ad, or I can generate a certain type of follow-up ad, or a certain type of retargeting, or I can do this with my just everything, my data, the whole 9 yards. Tactics are great, but we got to remember that with all the things that we can do to try and sell, to make money, to try to expand our influence and our subscriber base, that there are people on the other side of everything we're doing. There's a person on the end of that transaction. There's somebody with hopes, with dreams, with desires, with fears, with all these people things. And the more that people, marketers and others, just use tactic after tactic after tactic after tactic on people, people get insulated to it. They get wise to it. I ask you a question. How many of you, when you go on a webinar now, know when the pitch is about to start? How many of you know that this is just, I mean, the education, if there was anybody, has stopped, or if there was any, has stopped, and now we're into the pitch, and I'm probably not going to be interested, so I might as well just be done. How many of you are able to do that? I mean, that's an simple example of tactics. Or how many of you know when you see an ad on Facebook, even though it sounds interesting, as soon as you click that, you know that you're going to get harassed forever with follow-up ads that are at the lowest level creepy and at the highest level intrusive and super creepy. You've seen these tactics before and you start to become immune to them. However, wow, this is really bad handwriting. However, when you trust somebody, when you like somebody, when you're getting value from somebody, does it matter? Meaning, even if you see kind of what they're doing, you don't care. And in a lot of cases, they don't have to resort to tactics or secrets or stuff like that, because they're bringing the value and you trust them, you like them. You want to be the person that people like and trust. You want to be the person who is consistent in their messaging, in their story, in their values, um, that's the new secret weapon. It's not some tactic that as soon as everybody uses it, it's going to stop. So if you want to, like John Maxwell says, and I'm going to butcher this quote, but if you want value, you have to first become a person of value. You have to contribute value. Okay. So next, understanding offers and offer stacks. Gone are the days of just making an offer and a weak offer stack or a non-existent offer stack. And the cool thing, and for those of you who haven't heard me talk about it, the offer is the promise. It's the promise of the result. And the offer stack is what they get. So as the Brits say, it's what's in the tin. I think that's what the Brits say. If I have any Brits here, you can tell me whether that's accurate or not. I've heard Sarah say it. Um, the thing is, you can't just survive by showing up anymore. You can't. You're sure not going to thrive just by showing up. You got to have an amazing offer stack. You got to make them a deal that makes them go, "Holy crap, I've got to do this." And the great thing is that AI can help you do this in spades. Huge, because AI is not inside of you. In other words, when we see our stuff, we think it's amazing. And so everybody should just think it's amazing. And so that's why we have wimpy offer stacks, is people should just know that our stuff is great. And AI can really help you get outside yourself, especially if you understand your audience, and can help you to work on that. And so I want to kind of end with just this thought, and it's going to circle back around to something that I already drew on here. Um, and that is right here. The people that are going to win are the people that see the future as them working with AI, a partnership, a hybrid, and understanding that you're going to bring the soul, you're going to bring the stuff that makes it real, and AI is going to help you with the data part so that you can create more value faster, not more noise, but the ability to just get things done quicker, faster, easier. And the last thing I would tell you is that in the next 12 to 24 months, it's all about speed and execution and gathering up the people that you are called to serve. The next 12 to 24 months is, I've seen this before, looking back over the last 28 years or whatever I've been doing this. There have been several land grabs. One was around just websites and SEO, then pay-per-click, then video, then audio, then podcast, then blogging, maybe not in that order, webinars, all that stuff. This land grab is about getting the people in your orbit, because this is going to accelerate stuff. You're going to see people zoom out of nowhere and become household names really fast. And that can be you. And if I was going to tell you to do what to do over the next 12 to 24 months, it's get your authority site done. We got tools to help you do that inside of Copy and Content. Make sure your social media is all squared away and you're regularly publishing. You should be doing some type of presentations, webinars, regularly, live stuff to get yourself out there. And you need a book. Everybody needs a book, and everybody can create a book. I'm going to show you some stuff here real quick. Everybody can create a book. Some books will be big, some books will be small, some books will be thick, books will be thin. Some people will write one book and never do it again. Others will just get the bug and do a whole bunch. But these are books that our customers have created with Write Your Book and with our writeyourbookai process. They're on everything from how to stop being a people pleaser to getting out of the military the right way to transforming your organization to speaking with authority to coaching kids on the basketball court to coaching people in law enforcement to transforming fear, relationships. I mean, there's irrefutable proof, A, that what we're doing works, and B, that you can be a real author quick. And if given the choice, do you want to become an author fast or become an author slow? Obviously, you're going to want to do it fast. So I just want to let you know, next Monday starts the WriteYourBook.AI challenge, where I'm going to walk you through writing your book, just like hundreds of people have done with our process. And I don't even have time to show you all the books that we got here. I'm going to walk you step by step through the process and hand you the tools to be able to get it done in a couple of weeks. You'll have your book done and published on Amazon while other people are still thinking about it, dreaming about it, or maybe planning it if they're lucky. It's something that gives you instant authority because being the author of a book is your number one credibility tool. You literally wrote the book on it. And we're going to give you step-by-step guidance, daily live sessions to walk you through exactly what to do. Literally, we've got the AI tools and my knowledge and coaching throughout the entire process. We also have accountability and community, so you stay motivated through the process. And that's why 3 out of every 4 people that start this process have their book done within 2 to 3 weeks. If you will just do exactly what I tell you to do, exactly when I tell you to do, exactly how I tell you to do it, your book will be done and you will be published on Amazon. Now, what are the other 25% doing? Sometimes they want to sit there and cogitate on it more. Sometimes life gets in the way. But if you've ever taught a class online, if you've ever sold anything or done anything where people start out on a Monday and by 2 Mondays later, they have done something massive and significant like writing and publishing a book, to have 3 out of 4 people get that done is virtually unheard of. But it's because we've got the process and we've got the tools and we've got the path, the accountability, the community. And think about this, bearing down and getting it done, that creates a lifetime asset. Your book keeps working for you long after the challenge is over. And again, we got proven results. I mean, I got more here to even be able to show you. I mean, here we go. Here we go. I mean, they're crazy. Okay. Over the years, the process helping people to get their books done, and you can be next. So if that's something you're interested in, we're sending out emails and messages about it right now. We're posting on social media about it right now. You can go to writeyourbookai and sign up. If you're already a member of CopyandContent.AI, you can definitely, we're sending out emails internally with a special deal for people that are already members. So would love to have you join us. Looking forward to the challenge. Hope you enjoyed this little different format of the State of the Union of AI. Bottom line is, use AI to amplify and accelerate your soul. Let AI do the heavy lifting, but make sure that you're the one at the controls, and start building relationships with your customers, and you won't have to worry about AI taking your job. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.